Hey, what's up, fellas? This is Dr. Varun Gandhi, and you're listening to the Gandhi TV. Man, I missed y'all, guys. I had to take a break. This last week, I was in Chicago at the Young Jane conference, and I got to meet so many amazing people. It was such a wonderful experience. And so I had to take a break from my channel, the Gandhi TV. But here I am again, back at it. What's up, fellas? How you guys doing? Love and abundance to you guys. So check this out. Today I asked a question. Do you imagine who you want to become in the future? Like right now, do you sit down and think about and create a picture, a mental image of who you want to become in the near future? Something that's achievable, something that's doable, maybe in the next 2 months, 3 months, a short-term goal, nothing too big. Let's say you're interested in your finances, in growing your finances, making more money. Right now you make, monthly income of, let's say, $5,000. Can you imagine yourself to make $8,000 a month? Just imagine, just sit there, close your eyes. Think about what that would be like. Where would that extra money come from? What could you do? What could you do to earn that extra money on top of everything that you're doing already? Something simple. Maybe 500 over here, maybe 500 over there, but what can you do? And imagine yourself doing that. You don't have to go out there and do anything right now, but just imagine yourself doing that. What that would take, what that would be like. Who would you have to become to do that? Would you have to change a part of yourself? So think about what that change would be. How would that feel in your body? Start feeling all of these things. Start thinking about these things. Start creating these images in your mind. Ask these questions of yourself. Right now, my goal, my personal goal, for the longest time, I've felt that my biceps were too small, tiny, right? I'm not going to show my arms, but I've always felt my arms were small. So now it's my goal, my mission, to grow my arms a little bit. That's what I'm working on right now. But I'm just imagining myself having larger arms, which are in proportion with my body. Right now I don't feel like they are. And I've never had that because I've always thought that my arms were skinny. And so here you go. Now I'm working with this and imagining myself just doing curls, picking up 30s and just doing 30s and just imagining myself doing that and what that would feel like in my body, in my arms. Start feeling sore. You'll feel the pain, but you'll also feel it growing. You'll feel the feeling of the muscles building. Start feeling that. Start feeling that. Start feeling the feeling of how your muscles would feel like when you already have biceps. Ooh. If you can match to that frequency, then you're essentially removing all resistance inside of you from achieving that state. What does that mean? Meaning, right now, inside of me, I have resistance from building my muscles. I've always had resistance from building my biceps. I actually found this out today when I was analyzing my activities from this past weekend. It's really, really important. Pay attention. This is what happened. I'm going to analyze myself right now. The first day, Wednesday. We landed there Wednesday. Thursday morning, we went to the gym. to lift some weights. I did a little bit of biceps then too. That's when I felt like, okay, you know what, my biceps are a little small, I need to do something about it. So I picked up some weights. I did chest and then biceps. Usually I would have done my tries. But this time I said I'll do my biceps. All right, I did that. The next day, I started feeling sore. You know, I hadn't done biceps in a long time. It was natural. Cool. And you know, I was expecting that, right? So I felt it. Then what happened was parts of it got discolored. A little bit of purplish, red, purplish, you know, darkish red, purple color. And I started just massaging that. But I felt like at that moment, my conscious mind was pointing out, the fear in my mind was pointing out to the body the pain that it had caused. In a sense, was punishing the body a little bit, you know what I mean? It's like, hey body, look, don't do this again, because you see this? You feel this pain? Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. You don't wanna go through that, I don't wanna go through that, so let's not go through this. I felt like that's what I was doing when I was massaging the bruise, in a sense, from the muscles, right? So I've always had this aversion to building my biceps. But now I'm going in my mind and saying, no, let me actually just build an image of what that would feel like. Build an image of what that would be like. Close your eyes. Imagine your same body, but with bigger biceps. Just that. Just imagine what that would feel like, what that would be like, how your arms would transform, the curves. Imagine your right arm feeling your left biceps and running all over it. Just imagine the feeling of how big it is, and you feel so muscular and you feel so satisfied with it. Now you take whatever scenario you want, whatever goal you're achieving, whether it's financial, whether it's career, whether it's business, relationships, love, romance, whatever, spirituality. If you want to attract someone in your life, what would that be like? Who would you have to become to attract that person in your life? Imagine all these things. Imagine all the possibilities that you could go through. But just in your mind, you don't have to go out there and act anything right now. Just imagine it in your mind. Create these mental images and keep repeating those mental images as often as possible, so that your body, so that you're letting it sink in. This is your positive programming, the cells in your body. You're letting it sink in that this is what your next goal is, and you're gonna get there. You're allowing your body to remove all resistance from change. Your body wants to keep doing the same things over and over again. It likes the routine, but your conscious mind has to kind of break off that routine so that you could transform into something different. So what you're doing is you're creating these mental images in your conscious mind, and you're feeding it to your body. Because when you're, what do I mean by that? So when you're imagining something, that, okay, I want to build my biceps, right? In my case, for example, when I'm imagining my biceps, I'm also imagining the feeling of what it would be like to have that level of bicepness I want, right? So when I anchor in that feeling into my body, which is my subconscious mind, now I'm feeding it these messages that, hey, you're going to get to this feeling. And when you get there, you'll be cool with it. Like the whole process will be smooth because your body is already expecting something. And now you just have to go out there and do it, and you'll get there. So all resistance is broken. This is the non-resistant movement. Just imagine what you want to get to. Who do you want to be? Maybe you want to improve as a speaker, as a singer, as an artist. Maybe you want to attract a particular client. Imagine what you would have to do to attract a particular client. Where, who, which, how, when can you do? What can you do to attract that client? Imagine yourself doing that. Just keep imagining. Because if you already had the idea, you would have already done it, right? So there's something stopping you inside of you from doing that. So just imagine yourself doing that. You don't have to go out there and act right now. But eventually the action will come smoothly because your body has dropped all resistance. Your body, which is your subconscious mind, your soul, has dropped all resistance. You're no longer resisting anything. You're just allowing it to happen because your body is used to the sensation of feeling that future outcome. So when you imagine, start feeling it in your body as well and start connecting with that feeling. Just allow that feeling to arise as much as possible in your body so you could get comfortable with that event from happening in your life. And when you get, the more comfortable you get, the more you're going to go out there and act because that resistance has dropped. So just imagine who you want to be in the next 2 months, 3 months. Short-term gain is always the best. You could always imagine something longer as well as an eventual goal. Like let's say you're at $1,000 a month, you want to get to $1 million, that's fine. Now imagine how much change you would have to bring about in your life for that jump to happen. Because you're essentially asking for squared, you're to the power 2,000 times 1,000. It's not just one level, it's 2 levels, it's 3 levels up. That's a big jump to think about it. That's a huge goal to have. Maybe it's a year goal or year and a half goal, which is fine. But now imagine the shorter term goal, 2-month goal. Okay, let's break that up into steps. Take that 2 months. Just keep imagining what you want that to be like. Imagine how you would have to change in feeling and in thought to attract that particular outcome. When you can imagine it and just keep imagining that over and over and over and imprinting that signature in your body, that event is going to happen. All resistance will drop and the action will be automatic after a while, after some time. You'll just keep doing that action over and over again. Whatever it is, if you want to improve as a singer, you'll go out there and practice, you'll go out there and train, you'll go out there and all of that action, all of that, the resistance against the action will drop. So there is this whole inside of you level where you're focusing your energies on. This mental, emotional body is where you're going to focus your energies on, and you're creating something from inside of that. Hey, maybe your dream was to create this online company that sold t-shirts. By the way, if you have that, let me know, contact me. I have some ideas, let's do it together. But maybe that's an idea. Now imagine yourself, what would it take to get it started? What would it take? What resources would you need to find? Who would you need to contact? What kinds of things would you need to build to have all of the infrastructure ready to sell the online t-shirts? Just imagine that. Maybe there's a shortcoming in your plan right now. Maybe you don't have the money, but just imagine you already have the money. Imagine the money coming. But just keep imagining the idea in your mind. And then imagining what it would feel like to attract that money. How would your body feel when the money was in hand and you could get started? Just imagine that. Okay, now imagine what it would take like to get that money. What would you have to do to get that money? Go imagine that. Who would you have to call? Who would you have to talk to? What kinds of conversations would you have to have? Just imagine, nothing else. Just sit there right now and imagine. Ask yourself all these questions. How would you have to become different so that you could attract that potential future? There will be resistance, and sometimes you won't even know the resistance is happening. You'll be so unconscious to that. But now when I look back, think about it in different ways. Like, okay, that's a possibility. Why not? Because my subconscious was telling me to do this. My consciously, I don't think I was doing that. So be aware, but right now all you have to do is just imagine what it would feel like. That's okay. You don't have to go out there and do anything, but imagine for the first 7 days and then see how things change for you. But just imagine how you would have to change to attract the future that you want to attract. How would you have to be different as a person, as a mentality, as an energy level? How would you have to be different as compared to today to attract the future you want to attract? Maybe the reason you're not rich, whatever your definition of rich is because you haven't imprinted the consciousness of rich in your mind. Your mind cannot fathom what it would feel like to be rich, and hence you're not rich. Whatever your definition of that term is, wealthy, abundant, whatever your definition of that term is, infinite love. Fathom what that would feel like, infinite love. Drop all resistance. But just imagine. Just imagine what it would feel like. Feeling along with thought is important. You have to have both to change your programming. Really, guys, look at it this way. Our body and our minds. So our mind is a computer that essentially has a bunch of softwares that are already installed. Part of it, you don't even know what kinds of software are installed. You have to discover those as you experience new things. That's the self-realization journey. You're understanding what softwares you've downloaded in the past. Softwares, I mean, like what habits, what are your conditioning, what are your beliefs, what is your belief system, and how do you operate in this daily life? What do you base your decisions on, your daily actions on? What are your foundational values? What do you think about yourself? What is your story? So those are the software that you've downloaded in your computer. Your body is the machine that when your computer executes the software, your body will just go do it. But we have gone through life so far not knowing that we have to upgrade the software. We haven't upgraded our own softwares, but we're going out there and trying to upgrade everyone else's. We're trying to go out there and upgrade nature. Nature doesn't need any upgrading, it does it on its own. We have to do our upgrading. Our habits, thought patterns, a lot of the times are stuck in the past. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we're always living in the past. We've forgotten what it feels like to live right now, right here, in this moment. Because our bodies are stuck in the past. Because our body is stuck in the past. Our mind is stuck in the past. Now our whole system is just stuck in the past. And it takes so much to snap out of it. But we have to be consciously present. There is this other side of us that we've lost. We have to be consciously present in the moment to understand what our habits and beliefs and what is the operating system right now. What are these different software in the programming? Understand them. You have to break these software. It's like a virus, and you have to consistently break it down every day for a month. 4 weeks, consistently break it down. Your old programming, and then upgrade it with new programming. How do you upgrade it? Imagine. That's what meditation is, guys. You're imagining something. You're going inside of you. That's meditation. You're going inside of you. And you're creating something inside of you. But right now, a lot of us are stuck in our thoughts. So the creation never happens because we don't even know that we can create. Our thoughts take over. When we go inside, we just have a whole bunch of thoughts. And we can't seem to get past that. We're stuck in that level, just having thoughts. So then, when we have these thoughts, we don't want to be here because we don't like these thoughts. So now, we're going outside and projecting our energies outside of us. We're going outside and building a career. We're going outside and doing all of these accomplishments. But not realizing that our operational system is still stuck in the past. We haven't upgraded it. So now when we're operating, our bodies are operating from the lower levels of our chakras, from the selfish realms. The more me, because we're stuck in the me phase of our lives. Now when people say they're awakening, they're understanding that they're stuck in this loop, this system. They're stepping out of it, taking accountability of themselves and upgrading their software. In some cases they're even reprogramming using affirmations. Just repeating these affirmations and feeling it in your body. Like I'll give you one. One of my affirmations was, I see no fear, I think no fear, I know no fear. That's what I'm repeating to myself right now. This past weekend I felt that fear because my body was pointing it out, right? And I felt it. When I came back, I received this affirmation as a gift, and now I'm repeating that to myself. And I instantly feel better, instantly feel powerful. Every morning I repeat this to myself. I feel powerful. And that's how I start out my day. So, do you imagine, do you imagine yourself in your mind? Take the time to do that every day. That's called meditation. You're focusing your energies on yourself, and you're building a new self. You're slowly upgrading various pieces of your lives. You're focusing your energies on what you're lacking in, and you're building yourself. Maybe in certain cases it's your emotions that you have to control. There's a certain emotion. So understand, why do you have that particular emotion? Why does it arise in this particular situation? Analyze. What are the patterns? It's all inside of you. It's a software that you're running. It's a programming. Now, when a particular program is active, that's the scenario that's playing out in your life. So what scenario is that constantly keeps repeating in your life? Understand and go down to the root of it. The problem lays inside of you. Solution lays inside of you too. The challenges in your life right now, they're inside of you. Go inside and understand which particular software is activated right now. Understand what you can do to upgrade that software in your own life. Everyone has that 5 different softwares that are just nagging like a virus in the background. We all have that situations in our lives right now. But we're avoiding those situations, and they keep coming back to us. They're avoiding those situations. They're avoiding learning from those situations. Because once they learn the lesson, that situation will drop. Now go inside of you and understand, why are you avoiding that situation? What is that resistance? Where is it coming from? Build a new self that doesn't have that resistance. What would that look like? Create that in your mind, and you'll automatically live that in your life. Automatically you'll live that in your life. You just have to create it in your mind and body. Create that feeling in your mental and your emotional system, and you'll attract that future in no time. You just have to focus and meditate on yourselves. Create that energy inside of you. Create that change inside of you before you can attract that change outside of you. If you want $1 million, just feel like, what would it feel like to have $1 million right now? Attract that feeling. Start feeling that emotion in your body, through and through every cell in your body. When you get to that level, you'll be doing everything you need to attract that $1 million. The path will be so non-resistant once you feel that feeling constantly. The path will just automatically show its way, magically. You don't even have to do much. It'll all be non-resistant. You'll just be gliding like on Alibaba's carpet. You just feel like you're gliding on Sindbad's, or you know what I'm talking about. Whoever had the carpet in the ancient times. Just keep imagining what that would be like. And that's the game of life. Hey, what's up, fellas? If you love that episode, please share, please like, please comment. Let me know how I'm doing, what I could do to improve, who I could become to improve. You let me know and I'll create that. No, I'm just kidding. Let me know if there is something, if there are questions you have, particular comments, certain things I could do different. I'm looking for a different hat, by the way, so I know that's going to be coming to me soon. I only have this one right now, but another one's going to come very soon. I'm manifesting that in my mind. I'm imagining myself in a different, more colorful hat. Something with the Indian tradition on it. See what happens. We'll see what comes. Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I love you. And again, this is the Gandhi TV, your one-stop shop to elevate your consciousness. I hope these messages are benefiting you. I hope these are helping you live a better life. Create a meaningful future for yourself. Meaningful present and future. More importantly, meaningful present.